Hey gorgeous, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name's Amy, we've not met before. Today I'm doing an unboxing from Root Greenhaus, and I haven't words. So Root Greenhaus are a grower seller company, I don't really know what they class themselves as, from Indonesia. They reached out to me back in February wanting to know if I would be interested in collabing with them. After having a little browse of their website, I was very interested, and we were kind of discussing back and forth like how this collab could work, and they wanted to send me 5 plants to unbox with you. But when I was looking through the website, I couldn't choose just 5 plants. So I actually ended up adding 5 to the order. So they did gift me 5 and I paid for 5. So it's like a half a collab, half a genuine order. As part of the collaboration, I requested a discount code for you guys, and this will be it. I don't know what it is yet, but this will be it. And that will get you, I think it's going to be 10% off ordering through their website. They do the phytosanitary certificates, they do everything. All I did was wait. And as I said, they approached me in February, so I waited for a long time. But there was a hiccup, so I kind of placed my final order right at the end of February, paid for it, paid for my half of the order, and then they got it all up and ready and going, and it was like being shipped out, and I was waiting for like the little DHL shipping updates to change, and nothing changed for like a week, and I was like, are the plants okay? And it actually turned out that there'd been a change in something to do with like paperwork their end. So they'd done what they had always done, but there'd been a change to legislation, or I don't know, the laws around shipping plants like out of their country, so the plants had to go back to them and the process be redone, and it took a while for all of that to happen. So this is actually the kind of second batch of plants that they've sent out, but these got sent out last Monday and today is Monday, so they've been in the shipping, they've been in the post for a week. I am excited and nervous. It's been a long time. I have done imports from Indonesia before. It's been a very long time since I've done any imports from Indonesia, so I'm excited. I had forgotten what I'd ordered, but they very helpfully have put it on the outside of the box, and I've got my phytosanitary certificate, so all of the information will be there. It has been inspected and repackaged and inspected again by the looks of it. So there's a lot of tape. This whole box, this is all tape, so I'm gonna open the box and then I'll see you when I've done that. That took a long time. This box is, I'm surprised by the size of this box. I actually thought it would be like quite a bit bigger, but there are 10 plants in here and I can see that they're labeled, so that's good. I think, so I bought all of the Hoya. So any of the plants that are not Hoya were gifted to me, which, you know, thank you Root Greenhaus, very excited to have these. And then all of the ones that are Hoya are ones that I paid for. Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, so they all look like they are wrapped in corrugated card and tissue paper. I'm confused. I feel like what I will do is I will put like a photo of, so obviously I browsed through their website, so I'll put a photo of the plant that I kind of said to them like I'd like this one from their website. I'm waffling away because this first one is a Hoya Kerrii variegated, and I thought I'd asked for the inner variegated one. and this one is not that. Woo. And whilst it looks beautiful, I don't feel like I asked for this one. Oh wow, there's a lot of leaves on it. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a lot of leaves. I don't know if this is like, I don't really want to do all of the like unwrapping the roots here, but I think I'm going to need to. Okay, so roots are wrapped in a lot of cling film, and then there's tissue, and there's tissue and moss, and there's still, the tissue feels a bit damp still, but the moss does not feel particularly damp at all. Okay, this is just one plant. What on earth? These leaves are really like Hoya Kerrii leaves do not typically bend like that. But that's okay, it probably just needs to be hydrated. So this is what the roots are looking like. Quite typical of Hoya import roots from my memory. That leaf is so pretty at the top. Okay, so that's the first one. It's a very, very cute variegated Hoya Kerrii. It's just not what I was expecting. So that's why I'm a little bit disappointed. Okay, first plant unboxed. I'm intrigued to see what the others are going to look like. I'll have to go back and double check. Maybe I did just ask for a variegated Kerrii. I'm so sorry if you can hear all the construction outside. I don't know why I'm saying if, I know you can. I'm going to open this teeny weeny little one next, which is what they've got labelled as a Hoya coin. So I did pay for this one, but I feel like it is the Xerosis Danguyi, which I now do have one, but when I put the order in I didn't have, and I'd really, really wanted. So I'm just curious to see if this is a Hoya or if it is actually something else. We just lost the leaf. Like it looks so similar to the Xerosis Danguyi that I have. So we've lost a leaf. And this is what the plant's looking like. Let me know what your thoughts are. Upon first kind of glances, I can't tell what it is. But it looks healthy. It does look so similar. So I've got like a few different Xerosis Danguyi, and this looks really, really similar to one that I purchased off of eBay. I'll show you a little clip of them next to each other. In kind of situation, this lower stem looks a little bit suspicious in that it doesn't look like it's alive, but there's enough stem there for me to feel comfortable enough with growing it out. So that's the Hoya coin. Very, very cute actually. I think that will look very cute potted up with what I think is my Xerosis Danguyi. Okay, this next one I've been really excited about. It's an Anthurium, not an ant. I'm not sure, I think it's just Anthurium pterodactyl. Is that how? I don't know. I don't actually know, but I don't feel like that's the correct spelling for it. But I've been very excited about this one. Why does it look like the leaves have been taped? Because they have been. Look, there's sellotape on the leaf here. Okay. Thankfully that seems to have come off okay. Ooh. Oh, okay. Interesting. That is a really interesting shape. Look at that. Oh, it's like when I get anything wrapped up like this tight, I'm always like so impressed that they just wrap them up like that. Like I'd be so nervous to wrap. Like look how wide that is. Oh, that's insane. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a little, this would have been a new leaf coming in, but it's definitely, it's not gonna make it. It was mushy. Oh, I hate mushy things. But the other leaves all look pretty good. See, I'm doing like a little kind of like pest check, although in theory they should all be pretty pest free. Oh, I really, really, really like that leaf shape. That is stunning. Let's see what the roots are looking like on this one. This one is on cataphyll leaf growth already. I can see what might be the start of a flower, like an inflorescence. Whether it survives, obviously I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm going to let it settle in, but it's nice to know that it's kind of at a maturity level where it is flowering. See, like the tissue wrapped around it has like this weird kind of greenness to it, and I'm trying to, like, it looks like mold, like it looks moldy, but it doesn't feel that damp, and I'm wondering if it's more of like just a pattern that was on the tissue. I don't know. Ooh, okay. Again, the tissue feels more damp than the moss does. Oh wow, these roots are insane, but they look dry. Ooh. That's so much root. Oh my god. Wow. Now, I don't know if any of those are going to survive. There's definitely some that have like snapped and are pretty lifeless already, but that is a heck of a root system. If even like a handful of those survive, that would be amazing. That one looks, oh, that one looks like it's been doing some growing whilst in shipping, so there's hope. There's hope, but they all do feel quite dry. What I will do with all of these is like, I will get them into some water just to hydrate for a little bit. Probably some hydrogen peroxide as well. Yeah, can you see? So this was the new leaf stem, and here is a tiny little point of an inflorescence. Oh, okay. I'm really excited about that one. Really, really excited. It's super beautiful. Okay, next, another Hoya. Hoya calistophylla, which I know you can get over here quite readily, but the one that they had, like at the photo on their website, was just so pretty that I just thought, why not? And the price was good, from what I remember. This one looks very, very thirsty. This is very dehydrated. And the leaves are very yellow. Oh dear. I don't know if that will make a comeback. Christ. Do you know, I've always found with any import I've ever done, the Anthurium always seemed to do the best. Whereas everything else, like I've imported philodendrons, alocasias, Hoyas before, like Anthurium always turn out the best. This, I don't think I've ever had a Hoya come in quite so dehydrated. That's wild, isn't it? Like, I think this is the best looking leaf on it. Okay. See what the roots are doing. I don't think a lot of those leaves are gonna survive. I might even remove some of the ones that look worse for wear just because, I don't know, if they really aren't gonna, like this one's so yellow, like if they're not gonna rehydrate, what's the point in trying, kind of thing? Or like if they're not gonna look nice, that yellow's not gonna suddenly go green again. I think I'll just remove that one because there's no point the plant using energy trying to rehydrate a leaf that's just not gonna do anything for it. Those are very, very old rotten roots. I'm beginning to wonder, like surely not that Anthurium looks too good. Like part of me's wondering if this is from the original shipment. It's in such a state, like that's not like a packaged up last Monday, surely. Like Hoyas are not that sensitive. That's such a shame. Okay. Getting a little bit nervous about the rest of the plants, so let's move on. I really wasn't very prepared when it came to unpacking these. Oh god, it's another Hoya. This was one that was on my wish list. If you watched that video where I shared all of the Hoya in my collection and the ones that I would really like to add to my collection. Oh god, let me get this off. This is the Hoya sullawesiana. Sullawesiana, which is one that I really liked for the blooms. I just think the blooms are stunning. And I have actually seen this one on eBay since making that video. Ooh! Oh, the leaves are so long. Woo! Ooh, okay. Oh, well, this one looks better than the calistophylla at least. Got that leaf. This one looks a little funky, but that's okay. We don't mind a little funk. That looks much better. Much better than the calistophylla. Oh god. Okay, see what these roots are doing. Yeah, I can't remember what this one's bloom looks like, because there was two that both began with S, I think, on my wish list that had, I feel like, similar looking leaves, and the leaves are cool to be fair, they're nice and long, but the blooms were both really different, but I wanted them both for the blooms. Okay, wow. I mean, considering the leaves look so good, this part of the stem looks terrible. I'm just going to chop all of that off. I'm not even going to bother trying to keep it. I'm just going to chop it at this green section and get rid. That's terrible. Again, doesn't look like something that was kind of chopped or like healthily rooted last week. That's wild. Just keep coming across the Hoyas. I'm nervous. Right, Hoya latifolia. This is a very small package. I thought the latifolia was quite a big leafed Hoya. Okay. This is what it's looking like. Again, a really wrinkly, like very movable leaf. Like, is the word pliable? Like, I don't, like, these leaves should not, I should not be able to move them like this. It looks like it could be really pretty. It might plump up, maybe, and it has, I mean, I doubt anything will happen, but there is a little growth point just here. It feels like it's almost like paper thin. That's wild. Like, I wonder if all the Hoyas were from that first like shipment, the one that kind of got shipped out and then had to be returned. Okay, surely that Anthurium isn't. Surely. So I'm trying to think back to, so I placed the order at like the end of February, and I suppose when I gave them my order it was probably like a couple of weeks, maybe, was it a couple of weeks? I'll try and look at the timeline of kind of what, like, it was actually, because we're in the middle of June now, so like if I say, you know, if I put in the order end of February, beginning of March, maybe they shipped it out kind of the like middle of March, nothing changed, plants got sent back to them, maybe we were talking like the end of March, beginning of April, and then they had to kind of go through the process again of applying for kind of permits and stuff, and then got everything and then shipped out. Maybe these are the same plants, I don't know. That's kind of wild if it is, and I'm a little bit worried, like if they're all the same plants, I'm a little bit worried about some of the other ones that I haven't got to yet. I always feel really strange about like doing, like not being able to just talk really positively about companies in these kind of situations. Like, they've sent me 5 of these plants for free, and like that's incredible. Like, I'm very, very grateful. Like, obviously that doesn't just happen. This is one I'm particularly worried about. The Homalomena species sumatra. But like, if this is a Homalomena that was originally shipped in March to get shipped out, and has then had to go back and go through the process again, I'm worried about it. Yeah, I always feel like I should be really positive, because I don't want to seem ungrateful, but I also don't want to be like, oh my god, it's so good, like you should definitely order from them, and then like you get plants that aren't great as well. This one I'm going to be really worried about. Rehabbing. Oh, it's one of those ones that has like, it's got really, really dark leaves with really like interesting veination, and then the back is supposed to be a really bright, vibrant red. Obviously there's this leaf here, and oh, I don't know about this one, like whether it would have turned up looking like this even if it was a fresh one being shipped out last week, or whether it would look like this, like whether it would look better than this if it was. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask them. Like, they've been really lovely. Obviously it's been a bit frustrating kind of having the order sent out and then returned, and then just, you know, everything takes a little while when they're having to like apply for import licenses and like registering your name and all that jazz. Like, it does, it's not quick when you're importing like this, but they've been pretty good at keeping me updated. They've been really polite to talk to and responsive, and I can't fault them in that sense. But I don't know, like I don't know, the plants just, like, I wasn't expecting them to look quite this bad. I will be very surprised if this one hydrates and recovers. Ooh. I'll have to have a look to see if they've got like a dead on arrival policy or anything. Like, I don't know. This doesn't look amazing. I'm not gonna pretend, guys. I'm actually just gonna put this in some water right now instead of leaving it to unbox the other ones. Just shoved it into a little champagne glass. Obviously I will keep you updated on this. I'll do like a whole acclimation video, so if you're interested in seeing, definitely stick around for that. Can you hear that wood pigeon? Okay, let's see who's next. Feeling a bit nervous. Right, that was what I just unwrapped, wasn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plants. What I might do is just pull the rest of the packages out. Woo. And then I can use this properly as a bin. Okay. Monstera esqueleto. If you're not new here, you will probably know how much I've wanted one of these for a very, very long time. I have got a very teeny weeny one that I got from Grow Tropicals, and because I knew I was getting, or well, I thought I was getting this one kind of mid-March, I haven't like chopped that one and repotted it, so it's just a small little vining, and I'm annoyed because I should have just done something with it, because it could have been sizing up by now, because once it got going it really started doing the growing. Okay. Could look worse. I mean, doesn't look great, but could look worse, I think. I think I was hoping this was going to be a little bit bigger than what it is, so a little bit disappointed. I can't remember what it was that I ordered, like whether it was just a cutting or, because I'm pretty sure there's a Monstera in here that was a cutting. I can't remember if this was one of them or not. I mean, it's got roots, but they don't look good. And I don't really understand what's happened to this stem. That looks so weird. Okay, so it's a cutting. It's a growth point from a node. It's got all of these roots, but they are all very, very dead. Look at the end of this. Like, what is that? That looks so weird. Okay. I mean, I will just remove this. I'll remove this section and just go like start again. So it's a cutting. It's definitely got potential. Like, what's that leaf like? Kind of sits nice and front ways. Like, it's definitely got potential. It probably will size down any new growth that it puts out. It's such an interesting, it's like growing at a right angle, but perfect for a pole, right? We can get a pole on that pretty quick. I've got 2 left to share. Oh my god, that package is tiny. And then this one doesn't have a name on it. Okay, this is what I'm really excited about. It is a lot smaller. Like, I'm pretty sure this one was one that was a cutting, but I think the picture, like, it looked like it would be bigger than this. I'm I'm really excited to have one in my collection. I didn't think I ever would, but I don't know. I mean, they can do like miraculous things with their folding in terms of getting plants into packages. So I won't say it's smaller than I thought it was going to be until I've seen it. Okay, it is smaller than I thought it was going to be. So it's one leaf. It's a pretty leaf. It is a pretty leaf. Like the potential for this plant is huge, isn't it? Like we know Monsteras, we know how big they can be, and I feel like I can't complain because I didn't pay for them. I'm not ungrateful. It just wasn't what I don't know. Like I know when you kind of like you look at stock images of photos. I don't know. I am remembering this, so I might be remembering differently to what the actual photo looked like. I don't know, but I was imagining a bit of a bigger leaf. I don't think I was imagining 2 leaves. I don't think I was imagining even fenestrations, just a bit of a bigger leaf. But obviously you know, with any website really, unless it states the plant in the photo is the one you'll receive, it's just the typical kind of photo of what you can expect, but quite possibly hasn't hit my expectations. Obviously I might completely change my mind after seeing the photo. I might be like, oh okay, I just remembered wrong, but ooh. You can see a little bit of rot on the tip. Okay, oh, okay. Okay, so we've got a rotten root there. There's quite a lot of kind of rot happening, rot on the tips of some of these. And actually that leaf isn't even a growth point, that's a leaf. So this is, okay. I don't know what I thought I was going to get, something like the Monstera esqueleto, like a cut from something that's already actively growing. This isn't actively growing. It has got, there's two potential nodes here. Oh no, 3. So so there's a node here, here and here. This one, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but there's a little bump just here, which looks like it could end up being like a half moon if it activates. This one, I think is a little bit harder for me to show you. I think it's this little lighter bump here. I don't know. And then this one I don't think I'll be able to see because it'll be behind the kind of leaf petiole there. Okay, I'm a little bit scared actually. Some of the roots look okay, some of them don't. I'm scared. I know they had a couple of different versions of the Monstera Aurea, and I did pick the cutting, so maybe if you are wanting one and you do decide to order through them, maybe don't choose the cutting. Maybe choose one that's actively growing. I don't know, like it could be completely amazing and beautiful. I'm just a little bit scared. I have a Monstera Aurea in my collection. I am excited about it. It just wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. Okay, last one. This looks like the biggest one. It doesn't have the name on it, but it is a Rhaphidophora. Foraminifera. Variegated. The variegated one. So I've already got this Rhaphidophora in the green form, and it's doing quite well. I'd still consider it to be quite a new plant to my collection, although I've had it at least a couple of months. But when I saw that they had the variegated one, I was like, God, like when I first started looking at this plant, and I saw the variegated one kind of on Instagram, I didn't think I'd ever just be like, no, be lucky to even get the green one. I got the green one from Grow Tropicals, and then when I was browsing to agree to this collab, I saw it and I was like, I feel like I have to get it. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. Interesting. I don't feel like the variegation looks like this in the photos. I'm not sure how I feel about it. So this looks like it was a fresh cut, and it's a mid cut by the looks of it. So I thought this was going to be more of like a I don't know what I thought the variegation was going to be, but I didn't think it was going to be this. I think I thought it was going to be a bit more kind of not like sectoral, but not quite this. So we've got this leaf here. So it's kind of like a mottled, but it's that kind of variegation that looks like it kind of deforms the leaf. That one doesn't have too much on it. There's this leaf. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, the variegation is kind of deforming the leaf. Do you know what I mean? Like it's I don't know, I feel like it's a really different texture to the Rhaphidophora I already have. Maybe it's a completely different plant. I don't know how I feel about this. Let's have a little look at the root system. It's the biggest kind of bundle. That's a whole lot of roots. So there's a lot of roots on this. Some of them look healthy, some of them look less healthy. I will probably chop a lot of them. It's a mid-cut. The bottom of this stem doesn't, it's bright yellow. Doesn't look too healthy. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with this one. I don't really know how I feel about it. Honestly, I don't really know how I feel about the whole process. I really, really wanted to feel positive because, you know, this is a company that has reached out, have wanted to send me some plants to promote their business, and that, you know, I hope to get new customers, but I don't know, I'm not overly impressed with everything. Is that bad of me? Like, I've got a Homalomena that's probably on death's door. Both of these Monsteras haven't, oh no, sorry, this Rhaphidophora and this Monstera haven't quite hit expectations. And if I'm remembering incorrectly, I will obviously have that on the screen and I'll correct myself. Like, when I've been thinking about this package and I've been imagining these two plants, this isn't what I was imagining. Like the Hoyas, some of them don't look like they're gonna rehydrate and make it. The Anthurium looks the best, to be honest. And that has always kind of been the case in terms of Anthurium for me, but when it comes to importing, but it's just, I don't know, I feel bad, like I want to say it's a really good experience, but it hasn't been the best experience. Okay, so I don't completely know how to end this video. I am going to, like, what I'm going to do next once I turn the camera off is I'm going to tidy up, kind of get these guys all in some water so they can hydrate themselves a bit, and I'm going to message the Root Greenhaus team and just express my disappointment, I suppose, and speak to them and see what they say. If you are interested in ordering from them, I'm assuming I'll have my code where you can get 10% off. I suppose all of these plants have potential. They all have potential. It's just, I don't know 100% if they're all going to survive. Words. So I know it can be really, really tricky, like when we order plants, and obviously I've got expectations in my head of what I want them to look like, and I wanted this to be a really, really positive experience, and I am disappointed. But I now own these plants. So as long as they actually survive, the potential for them to grow into what I was expecting is there. So there's always that, like that, the Monstera Aurea, it has potential. It's got a really gorgeous kind of variegation throughout the stem. There's 3 potential new growth points. I could end up with 3 gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Monstera Aureas, and that will be amazing. There's always potential with plants if they survive. It's just, I don't know, when you're unpackaging plants and you kind of have those expectations, it can be really hard to not be disappointed. But I am aware that they will grow and they will potentially become what I want them to be. I'm just disappointed that they're not that now. And obviously, as someone who's done importing before, I kind of know that disappointment does happen, and I don't know if I feel fully confident that all of these plants are going to survive, but I wanted to order from them and be like, this company was fantastic, the plants are great, that's like almost definitely going to be like a full successful import rate kind of, you know, I wanted to be able to share that with you. If you're not somebody who has ever imported before, I wanted to be able to say with confidence that it will be a really good import experience for you, but I can't say that. And I think that's part of what my hesitation is here. But having said all of that, when you import plants, they don't always come in great condition. They are going through a heck of a lot. That, you know, going from an ideal environment, they're getting like chopped and ripped apart. Like, you know, they go through an awful lot to arrive into a very not ideal environment. And so, yeah, there's kind of expectations. I probably need to lower mine for what I was expecting, but then I feel like they don't quite hit that even if I had lowered them initially. All of that to say, please do order from them if you are interested. It was, in terms of me placing the order and just kind of waiting for them to arrive, really easy. Really easy. There was no hiccups there. Like, they have a website that you can go through and, like, you know, place an order. Because I was talking to them on Instagram, I just told them what I wanted through Instagram. They said okay, and I think I got like an invoice to pay them for the plants that I paid for, and then that was it. It was done. Like, easy peasy, no filling out forms, no worrying. Like, they managed all of the kind of import process, the certificates, everything to get into the country. That side of things, easy peasy. It is just the kind of caring for them now and getting them to survive that's on to me. Like, not overall a bad experience, just I think I bigged the plants up in my head a little bit, and maybe I just need to bring my expectations down. But I will kind of share what I do in terms of acclimation. I'll probably do some of the acclimation with you in the next video, and I will share what the Root Greenhaus team kind of, what, like, the conversation that we have after this with you as well. So yeah, hello, it is a month later and I am here to give you an update. After that video finished, I did what I said. I tidied up and I put all of the plants into water, and they stayed in water for about a week. And then I decided to pot them all up. So all of the Hoya I actually potted into fluval stratum, which I have used as a like kind of way to propagate before. I didn't really know how it's going to go. Obviously you'll see in a minute how it's going. And all of the other plants, ones that they gifted me, I put into my kind of typical aroid mix. Not like for no reason did I do it in that way. Like the ones that I paid for I put in fluval stratum, and the ones that I didn't pay for I put in aroid mix. It was just what I felt like I wanted to do, like what my gut was telling me, so that's what I did. So before I update you on the plants, I thought I would just kind of update you on the conversations that I've been having with Root Greenhaus since filming that. I sent them like a really long, I mean it's Instagram DM, but it's like a very long paragraph with photographic kind of information about the plants I received and the ones that I was expecting. So regarding updates from the Root Greenhaus team themselves, I don't feel like I've got quite what I wanted out of my conversation with them. Like I hadn't edited the unboxing video until this morning, so in my head I'd kind of built up my reaction. Like I thought I was like overly devastatingly disappointed with the plants, but I actually don't think I was. I think I was an appropriate amount of disappointed, and I still feel the same about the plants, if I'm completely honest. I'm actually like in editing the video and looking back at the photos that I'd sent them, like kind of saying I would like to, you know, either purchase these plants or receive these plants as part of the collaboration. I'm actually a little bit more disappointed than I was in the video. So like that Monstera, oh my god, my words today. The Monstera esqueleto, like looking back at the photo I sent them, I'm really disappointed. Like the plant that I got looks like the listing they had for the cutting on the website, and that's not been addressed really by them. Like what I did was I kind of set up a document that had the photo of the listing I sent them and the photo of the plant that I received, just for them to see the comparison of kind of what I was expecting and what I received, with the caveat of like, I know importing, you almost have to like lower your expectations, but like I had lowered my expectations and I'm still disappointed. They've apologised, they've accepted that I'm disappointed. They still want me to go ahead and post this video, so that is kind of what I'm doing. I'm updating you all on the process. As I said in the original video, I do not want to sound ungrateful. I know the potential these plants have, and I now have them in my collection. So like, I'm not ungrateful. I just, in my head, when I watch unboxing videos where creators have received items, plants, products, whatever, for free, like they've been gifted them, in my head I always think, well, they're probably getting like the best of the best, because the company, the brand that they're working with, will want their audience to think that all their products are amazing. So, but I mean, maybe that's not how brands and companies work, I don't know, but like when I was unboxing it, I was imagining you guys watching thinking, oh well, she's probably got the best Monstera esqueleto, because they're promoting their, like they're advertising their products through her. So I was like, oh, if this is the best of the best, like I don't know what you guys are getting, but I don't know, maybe that's just me and the way I view kind of sponsored and collaborative content. I don't know, you guys let me know. What do you think when you're watching people unbox things? And maybe that's not how brands think. Maybe it really is just, you just get given what you're given, just like any other customer. I don't know, like, but anyway. Root Greenhaus have apologised for the mistake. They've acknowledged that there was an error with the Kerrii. That's all they've done really, and that was after me prompting them, like, that they hadn't acknowledged it. They've just kind of said sorry, that there was that mix-up. There was no kind of, do you want a replacement? Do you want to send it back? Like, and obviously, you know, I'm not about to send a plant out to Indonesia, like, so that wouldn't have been an option anyway, but yeah, that's kind of, it's just been like, sorry, you didn't get the right one. And I am still really gutted about that. Like, I really wanted the Hoya Kerrii in a variegated. Whew, I'm getting hot. It's a particularly hot day here in the UK and I've got all the windows and doors shut because of the noise, fungus gnat. And so she's getting a little sweaty. Okay. I haven't yet heard back from them about the discount code for you guys, so that, like, I may not be including it in this video, like, as part of the video, but if I do get one, I will pin it to the top of the comments, so it will be there if you do decide to order through them. Like, I will be honest, I probably would I? Like, I'm not going to go out of my way to like constantly browse their website and purchase from them, but if I happen to be like scrolling on Instagram and I see a post or I see on their stories that they have like this exciting plant that I've wanted for a while, I'm not going to not order from them. Like, I probably would order from them again in the future. Like, this experience hasn't put me off. I just, like, lower your expectation, guys. Like, just lower it and then maybe lower it again, because the photo that you see may not be the one that you get, and that's like my honest opinion. Like, I'm not gonna big it up just because I got these lovely plants gifted to me. Like, they wanted an honest review and that's what they're getting. So let's waste no more time because she is getting really hot. Let me show you the plants and then sign off for this video. So I think I'm going to start with the Hoyas. So these are the ones that I paid for. But starting off with the Hoya calistophylla, it actually looks like, having edited the video this morning, I kind of have it fresh in my mind, and it looks, in the viewfinder, it looks better, I think, than it does in real life. You can see that it's got a lot less leaves. I think it had maybe 8 leaves when I got it, but I did remove them. Like the worst looking ones, they're still so not hydrated. I suppose maybe this one's a little bit harder. They're still very wrinkly. Like, you can see the wrinkles in this Hoya. Like, you shouldn't be able to bend Hoya leaves like this. As I said, they are all in fluval stratum, all of the Hoyas. I can't see and haven't seen any roots forming in here yet. Having said that, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. I was really close to the camera then, sorry. Oh, you can see it. So this here was an old root and the very tip of it looks like it's growing. So maybe there's hope for this one. I was feeling a little bit like there's just no point with this one for a little while there because it was looking really, really bad. So there's 2 cuttings in here. It's this section that looks like it may be growing. I can't see anything on this one and I don't want to pull it out. But that's the Hoya calistophylla. I think it is looking better. It's quite nice to be able to have the like original video in my head to look back on them now, because I really just thought this wasn't progressing at all, but I think it is. I think it's looking a bit better, so fingers crossed. I should say all of these Hoyas have been in our back rooms, so north facing, but they've been under a grow light, just been sat on their own. They're not kind of in high humidity or anything, they're just on a shelf chilling. So here's the latifolia. I was really disappointed. I wanted something with such bigger leaves. Like, I don't know, it's still got the wrinkles in it, it's still very pliable. Like, I don't know, I don't feel like this one looks all that much different. Oh, but look, I had no idea that that was there. So there is root growth. There's more up here. Okay, look, we've got root growth. That's really positive. Like, but the leaves are still, maybe that one's a little bit, this leaf here might be a bit harder than it was. I suppose it would make sense that it would hydrate upwards. So again, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope. Next, I'm going to show you the Kerrii. I can't remember if this one's lost any leaves. It had like 7 or something, didn't it? So I did remove some. These all still feel very bendy and not hydrated. Are there any roots that I can see? So there might be something here, but that could also be an old root. I don't know. I don't feel like there's been all that much change with this one. Let me know if you think it's improved in any way. It is a beautiful Hoya, it's just not the one I wanted. So like, yeah, I don't know. Like I can't even, like with some of the other plants, it's like, oh, that was smaller than I thought. It's more of a cutting than a plant like I thought it was going to be, but I've still got it. And the potential's there, whereas I didn't want this one. And like, I know the prices were pretty good, so it's not like I spent a huge amount of money, but like I paid for an inner variegated Hoya. Didn't get it. Next is the Hoya sullawesiana, which hasn't lost any leaves. They all still, actually, I feel like it's bendier than it was. I don't feel like it bent before, although that one's pretty solid. That one feels more solid than that one. Oh, I'm scared. So it's not lost any. It had that kind of like real chunky section of the stem that was like rotting or really dry, like it was both wet and dry. Potentially down here might be a little root growing. Don't think I can see anything else. So this leaf was like the last one. I don't know if you can see on the stem here, there's a little white dot just there, and that looks like it's a root. It's either a root or a growth point. I don't know what it is, but there's something happening there. So I think it's a positive. I think. Sullawesiana. This next one was the one that I purchased as a Hoya coin, but I am pretty certain it's the Xerosis Danguyi and not a Hoya at all. There's a fungus gnat in it. Got it. This one looks shocking. So it's continued to lose leaves. Like I thought this was going to be okay. Kind of in the video, I said I think I've got enough to work with, but it's just got worse and worse. Like it lost leaves when I unpackaged it. It lost more leaves while it was like kind of in water. And as you can see, it's continued to lose leaves whilst in this stratum. One section is completely gone. I think it's not rooted at all. This section at the top here, like it's got some life in it, but it's not gonna make it. Like they're shriveling up, they're gonna die. That's not gonna. So this it's definitely dead. Like I can't save this. So that's a shame, but this one was, I think, the cheapest of them all. And as I said in the video when I was unboxing them, I actually have got a couple of Xerosis Danguyi, which when I ordered this I didn't. So not the most sad about it, but reality of importing, we have had a casualty. Okay, let's move on to the non-Hoyas. First, I'm gonna share the Anthurium pterodactyl. This has done really well. As I said in the original video, anytime I've imported Anthuriums, they've been okay. Obviously, it did lose that new growth when I unboxed it. The inflow that was coming in has dried off. Just here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely dried off. But that's fine. Like I said, I wasn't going to do anything with it. It's hydrated well. I don't think it lost any of its leaves. I think it's still got them all. Fungus gnat. That one, and then this one at the back. I don't know if it's got any visible roots. Oh my god, I've got such a fungus gnat problem at the moment, guys. Oh look, I think this here might be the tip of a root, which is great, but also really sad because it's probably just going to go like whoop and come out of here, isn't it? But we have growth, which is exciting. With all of these plants, I literally just put them in water. I didn't put them inside like a box or anything. I didn't enclose them in any way. I just kind of secluded them off to the side just in case there were any pests. But I didn't try to keep the humidity up around them. Like the water that they were sat in probably did that quite well. And since being potted up, this one has just lived on my shelves. So yeah, nothing massively special. I feel like, I don't know for definite, but I feel like the caterpillar there might be some movement there, so it might be settled in enough to consider starting working on a new leaf. Maybe, I don't know, but that's that one. I think it's done really, really well. It's definitely been the best one, I think. Next up is the Rhaphidophora foraminifera variegated, and it's like spread. It's like spread itself out. So when I opened it, again, this is really like, this is why I'm glad I watched the video back this morning. When I opened it, all of these leaves were like smushed together, and now it's really open, so you can see the leaves better. Is there root growth? I don't think there's new root growth, but I can see some of the old roots and they look healthy enough. I'm sure some of them will die, but there will be imported roots that do die. That's just kind of what happens. Like, part of me wishes I didn't get this one. I'm still not overly thrilled about the variegation. What's this leaf? Like, you know the variegation on like the Monstera adansonii mint, that kind of like mottled, like the really mutated variegation. Like, I'm just not really a fan. Like, I feel like it makes it look sick, and in the photo of the listing it didn't, like, obviously it's really hard to tell, it's a really small photo, but I don't feel like it looked like it was this type of variegation. I'll keep it in my collection just to kind of see what new growth comes in like. You know, it's not taking up huge amounts of room. I'll give it a chance, but it may be one that I end up like propagating and taking to some plant swaps. I don't completely know. I do agree with myself in terms of the texture. It feels like it's similar to the original, the green one I've got. It just, I think it feels a bit thicker, but maybe that's to do with like, maybe that's something to do with the variegation, changing the texture slightly of the leaves. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't completely know how I feel about this one. I'll keep it as a bit of an experiment. We'll see what happens with it. Not completely in love with this plant. So, Monstera esqueleto. I'm really happy that I have it. Like, I'm really happy that I have a bigger Monstera esqueleto in my collection. Like I said, I've got a teeny weeny one. It's not like, it's quite a long vine now, but the leaves are really small. So I'm glad to have one with slightly bigger leaves. Looking back at the video and like looking back at the listing, I am really disappointed. I think I'm more disappointed because this looks more like the listing for the cutting than it does for the plant. So there is that. But yeah, again, there's potential, isn't there? There's potential for this plant to get absolutely huge. So it's in the aroid mix that I have. Ooh, we've got some good, there's definitely new root growth going on in this section. Obviously I've put it on a pole, which knowing me is dry. I will hydrate it after I finish filming this video. I can see there is a new root here that is going to be venturing in, so let's definitely get hydrated for that. And it kind of looks like, you can kind of see the colour change here. It looks like a new leaf will be coming out, so it's obviously settled in quite well. It's starting to grow roots and leaves, so it's acclimated quite well. And I don't think it lost, I don't think it lost any leaves. It just, I took that big chunk of the previous plant off of it. So it did lose a bit of the root system, but clearly it's doing okay. Okay, so I have a little pot. This is the Homalomena. She's, do you know what's really interesting? When I put her in the water, she was probably the one that looked like she bounced back the most once in water. Like the leaf went from like being like floppy to a bit more upright, and like the turgor, if that's the right term, was back. Like it wasn't just flopping around, it was upright. And I thought, oh, okay, I think you're going to take me by surprise, you're going to do really well. And then I potted her up. I kept the soil really moist because obviously she quite likes being in water, so kind of going from like a water prop to soil, I wanted to keep the soil quite moist to kind of keep that hydration in the roots for her. Regardless of that, she lost her leaves, which they didn't, like when they kind of bounced back a little bit on being hydrated, they didn't look that great. Like they didn't, you know, they weren't the best looking leaves. But yeah, she lost them, but we have got, there's 2 dead leaves. There is this new growth point that started coming in. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with this one. I don't think I've seen any new roots. No, I'm not seeing any new roots, but there's new growth, so it's got to be a good thing, right? Like, I will be keeping a close eye. I'll be very, very intrigued to see what happens with this one. If I could have a beautiful big version of this plant, I'll be really happy because I think they're stunning and I really like the texture of the leaves. So yeah, that's that one. Okay, and last but not least, which I'm really glad about because I need to like open some doors and get some breezes flowing through here, it is the Monstera Aurea. And I still love the fact that I have this plant in my collection. I'm still really, really happy. You can see the leaf has done really, really well. There's a teeny weeny little bit of browning at the tip, but I can't, like, it might have come in with that, I can't actually remember, and I couldn't tell from the video, but the leaf looks really good still. Yeah, I love that I have this plant in my collection. So let's look at the roots first, if there are any. I don't, nope, spoke too soon. There is evidence of a tiny little root starting, again very near the slit, so that's not great, but that is, I know it looks like it could be a bit perlite, but it is actually a bit of root growing, so that's exciting. And we have an activated growth point just here. The one lower down that had like the half moon kind of look to it, I can't remember which side it was on. I'm too scared to like dig around too much in the soil because I don't want to harm it if it is growing. Like I don't know if that one's growing, but we've got one growing here, so I'm very excited about that. I eventually will chop that section because it's got its own little kind of root system, and hopefully that will trigger that growth point down below to activate and grow another one. And I said in the video there should be, there should be another growth point on this node here, but obviously the leaf's there and I actually don't want to pull this leaf off yet. I want to keep it there, but that may or may not activate with this one activating down here. So if neither of those two do activate, I will chop each section and hopefully eventually have 3 growing. Like, oh, how cute. So yeah, very, very happy to have that. Okay, those are the updates that I have for you. My dress has pockets. How amazing. So random. Girls will get it. Overall, I am I mean, I was grateful anyway to have these plants in my collection, but I am grateful to have them in my collection. I am still a bit disappointed with some of them, but I will love them nonetheless. Obviously that Hoya coin or Danguyi, whatever it was, like that's not going to make it, but all of the others, I do think they have the potential to live and grow. So of course I will keep you updated. I probably should do like another kind of import update video for previous imports that I've done. Like, let me know if you're interested in that, and I will film it for you. I will of course have all of the information for Root Greenhaus down below in the description. If I haven't got the discount code kind of within this video, as I said, I will pin it to the top of the comments as and when I get it. Like I've already said, I wouldn't not order from them again, but yeah, I think if you're ordering, you know, have that little bit of excitement because you're ordering a plant, but just lower it. Lower the excitement, lower the expectations with any importing process. I feel like the only plants I really feel like I can get properly excited for are Anthurium, because I feel like they actually do rock up in pretty good condition. So yeah. So as I said, I wouldn't not order from Root Greenhaus again. I may or may not, I don't know. I'm not planning on importing anytime in the near future. I've recently got quite a few new plants, so I probably just need to work on caring for the plants that I've got instead of bringing more into my home. But I wouldn't not, like, they're not on my like don't even bother list. Like, I would consider it if they had a plant that I particularly really wanted. So take my video and my review with, you know, a pinch of salt, with what you will. You know, this is just my opinion, this is my experience. I don't want to push you into making any purchases that you'll be disappointed with. But in terms of the ease of the import, the kind of like going onto their website, purchasing the plants and waiting, it's kind of like purchasing from the UK, like a UK website. You go onto the website, you place the order, you wait for it to arrive. Like, there isn't much else for you to do. It's kind of all on their end. It does just take a lot longer. Like, they have to set up different accounts, they have to apply for certificates, there's a whole process. So expect to be waiting a while for the plants to arrive, but like, that's not a difficult process for you in terms of what importing could be. Like, it can be quite a complicated process. Like, they couldn't make the actual ordering of the plants process any easier for you. It is the state of the plants and how they turn up, they can't completely control, and then it's the acclimation process, you know, that's kind of down to you. So yeah, let me know if you do order from them. Let me know if you've imported from them before, like how your plants are doing. Let's have a little conversation in the comments about importing. That'll be really interesting to hear your experience, or whether you would even consider it. If you do enjoy unboxing videos and import videos, then check out this playlist. I think you'll enjoy the videos over there. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!